India's seventh biggest mutual fund house, Axis Mutual Fund, suspended two fund managers last Friday, pending the completion of an investigation it has been conducting over the last 2 months. While the nature of the irregularities was not revealed, media reports say the fund managers were allegedly involved in front-running the trades of the mutual fund on their personal accounts. Front-running is a dubious market practice in which an insider who is privy to a big future transaction by a fund or a big investor takes advantage of the information. Large orders usually move a stock's price, and the insider buys shares just before the big order hits the market and sells them once the price moves up. It can adversely affect the investor in the fund and is banned in India. Several cases of front-running have come to the fore earlier too. Last year, SEBI had taken action against 3 dealers of Reliance Securities for front-running the trades of Tata Absolute Return Fund, an alternative investment fund. In 2006-07, the markets regulator found that an equity dealer at HDFC Mutual Fund was passing on trade information to an outsider entity. The suspended Axis Mutual Fund managers allegedly informed brokers about stocks that they intended to buy in large quantities. The modus operandi was to benefit from a potential movement in stocks due to large orders from the fund house. The fund house has now reassigned their responsibilities to other fund managers in 7 schemes which have combined assets under management of over 7,700 crore rupees. A financial daily reported that a preliminary investigation pointed to front-running in as many as 9 stocks that led to ill-gotten gains to the tune of 170 crore rupees. Business Standard on Monday reported that SEBI is examining allegations of front-running and other irregularities against a number of domestic fund managers. Developments at Axis Mutual Fund have reportedly prompted SEBI to speed up the probe to ensure that there is no drop in confidence in the 39 trillion rupee domestic mutual fund industry. Axis Mutual Fund's MD and CEO Chandresh Nigam tried to play it down, saying the recent developments do not impact the portfolios held by any of the schemes of Axis Mutual Fund. In a letter to investors, he said the fund house has not put any restrictions on redemptions. The fund house manages assets worth 2.59 trillion rupees. India has more than 2.4 crore mutual fund investors with 10.3 crore folios. Should they worry over the recent events?
Whatever is basically happening on the what we call front running side is separate than the fund management side of the activity. The fund manager is producing the performance in the fund. Even if there is a front running which may have taken place at the dealer level, at the execution level, still the performance of the fund has been there for the investor. So investors should be judging the investment that they have done should be based on the performance of the fund. I think there are many checks and balances, I think, at every stage as far as the regulatory aspect goes. And I think they will further do, I think, whatever is necessary in this case, I think, to prevent many such kind of thing happening in future. This industry has been having this problem, not only in India, but across the globe. In fact, I think for the pre-transaction related checks and balances, I think the system will have to be, I think, even further simplified instead of making it complicated. That is what I would like to believe. Any solution that you arrive at, I think, has to be a preventive solution and not reactive solution.
Sriram Subramanian, founder and MD of InGovern Research Services, says that retail investors need not react in a knee-jerk manner but should demand more transparency from the fund house.
Prima facie, it doesn't seem to be a systemic issue within Axis Mutual Fund. But that being said, Axis Mutual Fund hasn't come clean on what was the reason why the investigation was started or set up 2 months ago, and why was the need for Axis Mutual Fund to go about doing the investigation on its fund managers and eventually take them off. 2 is, and this observation was also made by external observers who pointed out that all the funds and the fund managers have changed, and then there were various rumors that started. So it was not forthcoming from Axis Mutual Fund or from SEBI for that matter. So that is something to worry about. So at the end of the day, I don't think retail owners need to be very worried, but they should monitor it very closely, and if anything, they should write to the fund managers, the CEO, and demand an explanation. Axis Mutual Fund has unfortunately not put out a white paper or a detailed explanation on why they needed to investigate in the first place, what was the actual non-compliance, was it front-running, what was the extent of the front-running, and what were the findings of their internal investigation. And two is SEBI also is not yet come out saying that they are investigating this matter. And if they Axis Mutual Fund is to retain the trust of these investors, is to continue to hold whatever reputation they have had in the past, it should come out with a white paper on this entire issue.
Experts say that the Axis Mutual Fund episode should be treated as an isolated incident and retail investors should not be too worried. However, in order for the mutual fund industry to hold on to the trust it has built over decades, transparency from the regulator as well as fund houses is paramount. SEBI should also take stringent steps against frontrunners. Barring erring entities from markets for a short period may not be enough.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.